Revealed yourself.
Oh, I know. I learned from Beck.
I think your name is Bangladorf.
Yeah.
That is a joke at my house because my mother-in-law messed up Gandalf and Dumbledore.
Banglador.
That is our
Go
network
back to the
name
beginning
now.
of when. So when did you start your Plexus journey, and what rank are you now?
So I started my Plexus journey. I just hit 18 months ago, and guys, this is so big. I love that I can hold on to my own story of being that brat that was just so. I'm a skeptic. I'm like, you cannot convince me. If I don't want to believe it, I'm thinking you're a lie face, and you can keep talking. It's just annoying me. I'm that person that's like, yeah, I don't care. And so when my friend posted, the only reason I reached out to her, guys, is because she's not a salesperson. And I knew she has the heart. She's a big heart. She's a healer. She is as real as they come. And that is why I chose her to reach out to her. I actually had heard of it a little bit, but I didn't know what it did. And I reached out to her. So I started it because she would never post about something if it wasn't real, and it obviously was doing something that she was off of her insulin. So that was where that started, and she said, okay, let's do this. I instantly sniffed MLM, and I have PTSD, guys. I grew up in an Amway and Melaleuca house, and oh my gosh. Wow. So my mom was a single mom of 13 kids. My dad died when I was 10, and she never remarried. So she raised 13 kids alone. And that's significant because she was always looking for little extra jobs, right? She was trying to be a stay-at-home mom with 13 dang kids, and she was trying to make money. We were super poor. And I actually remember I was probably 12, and I remember her making the comment about how she didn't have money for groceries now because she bought inventory for her business. And it wasn't her being stupid. It was her trying to figure out a way to invest to bring something back to her family. So here's my mother, 13 kids. My dad died very suddenly from a massive heart attack, from all preventable illness. And my mom was stuck, and she did it a few times, trying to find a way to stay home. That was seared into my brain. And that kind of sacrifice for that kind of a woman that is just a tough warrior chick, I remembered knowing she was amazing and not understanding really just how amazing until I was an adult. And then seeing what multi-level did when they do it wrong just left a bad taste in my mouth, and I wanted nothing to do with them. So anytime I sniffed it, I was like, oh, I'm out. No, it's crap. So it was funny because when I reached out to Chris, she said, hey, you should post a picture of you and put it on Facebook. Well, I was not about to do that. And I actually jokingly was like, no, I'm not. I have 6 kids. I'm not doing the business. I'm not doing that. And guys, when we start and we reach out, those of us who are depressed, don't add something to our plates. We're like, are you kidding me? I'm barely alive. I'm not going to go post and do this. But it's important because that's when there's hope and excitement. And that is the best time to really help people understand that they're not getting on Facebook and saying, wow, this stuff's amazing. I'm so glad I started it today. They get on and say, I am so grateful my friend shared this because I'm hoping to see this. I'm telling you guys that because that will be ultimately how I started accumulating silvers, because it was really the key in the framework of how I posed this post, or when I talk to those people that I'm saying, hey, don't wait. Let's not wait. Let's try to get you to do it. And not all of them do. In fact, I would say half of them don't. But if they have any desire, so my battery is telling me it's going to die, so I'm going to run up and plug it in. So if it dies, I'll jump back on. I'm awesome. Don't even act like I'm not. I'm super good. So I have kids that took it, okay? So one more kid. So I really just was kind of grasping the strategy, but I'm a problem solver, and I like puzzles, and I do those things that how I can figure out the way to do it that'll work. And that was a puzzle to me. And I started to see that there was a very significant benefit and getting people to understand that you are not asking them to sell lipstick to their friends by posting, but giving you a shout out or rephrasing it, something. And then I follow up with, because I hate seeing people pay for this stuff because it's so easy not to. And that opens that idea up that it's okay. I'm not saying, let's do a business together. Hey, everybody come buy my stuff. That's a really big, important piece. And so all this stuff that I kind of understood, I had done real estate, so I knew sales. I had done marketing and PR for a while. So I kind of had that background and that brain for it. You know, at least I knew what I wanted to do, but I had no desire because it was an MLM and they're evil. So I just really struggled with that. She kept asking, but not in a rude way. She had just started herself, and this was her first post that I reached out to her. So she did, and it finally was her telling Kimberly Mortensen. Some of you might know her. She's my upline, my emerald. She's a nurse practitioner, and that gave us a lot of credibility. You guys are loving this, huh? This is so fun. Just don't mind me in my house. So she's a nurse practitioner, and that added a lot of credibility. And so when I knew that I was talking to a medical professional, that was a little better, and it kind of knocked down some of that skepticism. But it was really when Kimberly asked me that the way she phrased it kind of made me feel like, well, I'm kind of stupid, or I'm being lame if I don't just post. Who cares? What's a post, right? And so I wanted to make sure I pointed that out, because every single interaction and conversation you have matters, which means you have to have a strategy or a framework of how you're going to have the conversation in place, because it's too easy to get wordy and chatty. I don't know anything about that, but I hear it is. And when you do that, you turn people off real fast. And even this happened today. I was doing a three-way message, and I was so out of sorts. I had a billion things going on. I have, nieces and nephews here. My sister's in town. I have 9 kids running around my house right now, and it was just utter chaos. My phone kept doing weird things. So I'm leaving voice clips, and my phone would like cancel out. So it's kind of like messing with me, and I'm a little bit frazzled. And I really like to just kind of rattle it off. And I know my stuff. I know the research and the science and the products like the back of my hand, because I dig into the research because I'm a skeptic. So that was weird for me to be to fumble over my words. And by the end of it, I'm like, what did I just do? That poor person who's like, let me hear about Plex. I'm like, well, and then I don't, it was awesome. But it probably wasn't that bad. But the point is, you are the face of Plexus. So you are talking to your network. You're sharing. If you're posting, every single thing you do, it matters. And the way you do it matters. And so if you don't have a framework and an idea and a little bit of a plan, I'm a very spontaneous girl, but I have learned that if I don't personally develop things that will help utilize things that are already in place by my upline, and I don't duplicate, then I'm an idiot. Because the team I'm in is incredible. Brooke Hemingway and Emily Gibson and Christy Jex, they're my upline. Well, they're spoon feeding me what I need to do. So that is something that you take what your leaders say, and I'm telling you guys, trust them. Because I say to my team all the time now, guys, I did all the screw ups, so you don't have to. I say it, right, Crystal? I've screwed up plenty. I got it. Because I did. I would have the way I was projected and the growth I was having, and I was a master enroller, that never slowed down. In fact, well, it doesn't matter. I never slowed down my enrollments. Into 6 and 7 months, I was still doing 20 and a month. And what happened though, and that's not brag, I'm telling you that it was me being authentic to who I was and using the strengths, lean into that. If your strength is organization, and if you are good at making lists, man, you be the best little list maker you can be, and use that to build your business. When people look at me and say, Liz, you are so busy, and you know the stuff, you can rattle it off. As soon as you talk about this disease or that, you know what to do and how to tweak this. Yeah, because I research, but that's my strength. I'm a research nerd. It's embarrassing. But if your strength is something else, awesome. This is your business. You're the boss, babe or dude. Take that, run with it, and just really grow your strengths and then toughen up your weaknesses, because those will absolutely serve you. So I started enrolling people like crazy, and I ran with that. If I had continued, guys, and done what my upline had told me to do from day one, instead of going, I got this, it's fine, this is cute, it's fun, I'm having a great time, I would be a diamond by now. Because when I went back and looked at all of my growth and my this and my that, and you know what my biggest mistake was? Number one mistake? I didn't want to cheapen what we were doing and the mission of it, and so I would never talk about the business or the money. I didn't want to make it about money. So that's awesome. And the funny thing is, there is a very real fear that a majority of us have with money, making not enough, or bad feelings, or our childhood. And I don't know if any of you watch Bob Heilig, but he talks a lot about this. If you have issues with money, figure it out, because that will stop you and your success before you even start. If you are afraid of whatever it is that throws up those barriers, you're going to look for reasons to not do something. And I talk about this with my team a lot too. We do one-on-one trainings, and they're my favorite because it's connecting directly. And I can get a little bit more, I mean, I get really real and probably even annoying, but it's like, hey, you know what? Let's not worry. Crystal's laughing. Let's not worry so much about, did you make that list? I actually want to figure out why you didn't. Why didn't you make that list? Or what's going on? What are you struggling with? Is there anything that you are afraid of? We dig deep. And I'm a big believer in, you can't fix it if you don't see it. So if you can't actually see and acknowledge and recognize the weaknesses, how are you going to make those strengths? And I promise we all have plenty. And where you're at now, if you don't keep growing, are you diamond material? And if you are, awesome, high five. I'm not. And I know that 6 months ago, I would have been a very different leader than I am today. So right now I'm Ruby, and I'm pushing for Senior Ruby this month, and I hit Ruby in May. And that, I should have been Ruby a long time ago. I didn't listen to the upline. I didn't lead with the business ever, and forgetting that everybody's struggling somehow, but a lot of us are struggling with money, right? Who could not use a little extra money? My husband makes a very good living, and we have nice things. We have a beautiful home, but I'm pretty sure we would be okay if we had a little extra money. So it was stupid to think that people don't want to hear about that. If you frame it right, you can do it right. You've got to frame it and diffuse fears and diffuse misconceptions. Make sure people don't have that mentality like I did, that MLM's bad. It's not your mama's MLM. It's not. And I very, very upfront educate. I educate the people on the products. I educate them on detox. I educate them on the potentials, and we might have to tweak things in a couple of months. If you educate people, they're not afraid when it comes up, and they don't feel like you're manipulating them to get them to buy more stuff, because you're really upfront. And as far as the business, I got to Silver Stars because I finally figured it out. And the month before was when I figured it out. So look what happened when I went from, I was fine. I was doing fine, but I was Senior Gold for 8 months. That's not bad. It's that where I was, and I was winning all the awards. I've won all the trips. I just won Senior Gold retreat that we're doing. That's not a thing. It was easy for me. Fear of success was stopping me because I didn't want to be a mom of a huge team, and I didn't want to have to do things. And really, the responsibility was intimidating more than anything else. So I would actually find reasons. And I'm so busy, I can't do this. And it's silly, but I guarantee we all have them in some way or another. So I would say, figure out, are you afraid of failure or success? That's number one. Recognize yourself. Figure out who you are and what you are. And if you don't have your why, then you got to get one. Find it. I don't care if it's because you want to get a really expensive dog next year. whatever your why, make it yours and let that be your focus, because that is what will drive you. And because I finally figured that out, and my why is noble, and my mother-in-law, I want to give her a lot of things when I rank up, and I want to give her my car, and I want to give her these, and I've got people who are like, what? I don't care about cars, guys. I don't care. My mother-in-law raised 10 kids by herself. She lost all of her retirement through some crappy kids that she had, and she had to go back to work. She's 74 years old. And she got her master's degree in statistics after her husband left. This woman worked full-time and went to school full-time, got a degree, and raised her family. That woman was able to retire at 65 and went back to work for $15 an hour at 67. She's 74, working crap job. She has arthritis. She's on all the righties and all the good stuff, but she is miserable. And when my why changed, she lives with us now, but my why changed to something so much bigger than me. It's not because I'm trying to do all these great things. It's because that woman deserves to have her dream car. Her dream car is a Lexus. She drives a battering ram of a Toyota that my daughter, who's 16, should have. So that changed. And all of a sudden, when something matters to me, and I know we've talked about, or everybody talks about this, but really dig deep. Find something really powerful that moves you and make it yours, and somehow attach that to your why, because this stuff is life-changing. When it changes and heals moms, it changes and heals families, because my children were struggling because I was struggling. When my little boy said to me after 5 weeks on Plexus, I was depressed. I was a mess. And to go from energy and fun and happy to, okay, I cannot wait to get you guys to bed. I've got to watch my binge Netflix. I got to get out of here. That feeling every day, what do kids do? They take it on themselves. My kids did not think I enjoyed them. And the sad reality is I didn't really enjoy them much. And it was damaging their self-esteem. That's the story in a lot of people's homes. When you change your perspective of what you're doing and the purpose behind it, and that you're not just helping your friend and your sister, and you're not just telling them about this thing you're secretly doing, and hey, please come try my Plexus, bullcrap. Get up there and be like, I love you, and you are struggling. Just try my crap. What's the deal, right? Get real and get pushy and show people that you are confident in the product. If you're not confident, they're going to laugh. Oh, can you please try my Plexus? It's amazing. Is it? Really? You're so confident and passionate. So figure out what that is that drives you and appeal to people, and they will feel it, and they'll be curious, even if it's you going, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's so different. That changed everything. The way I framed it changed everything. The way I finally grasped that actually my upline knows something that I don't yet. And don't be so proud and close-minded, because we all are in some way. And as soon as I realized that I actually don't know what I don't know, I can't, I realized how stupid I was being, and I crippled myself. So now I'm moving, and I'll move fine, and I'll feel good. But when it's very, very powerful to me, enough to move me, enough to get me off my butt if I don't want to do IPAs, enough to make me reach out to people when I hate it, then I do it, because it matters. And be passionate about why you're doing this. And I promise you, you will find ways to make it succeed, because you'll get over your fears. You'll get over all the things that hold you back. And then the last thing, and I'm going to shut up. I get off my soapbox. Oh, wait, that's what I'm supposed to do. But the last thing is, it is really, I think it's so important that not only do we frame things right, and that we keep in mind what this stuff really is, but when I present to someone that I have this great thing, there is no apology for it. I don't cheapen it. I don't minimize it. I don't try to get by with just the bare minimum. Just try the triplex. I don't. I go all in, and I'm about education. So I'm like, you know what? Here's the deal. You got this. You got this. You got this. So we really need these things. Let's start here. And because I have a lot of, there were people on my team that were saying, I can't get anybody to go above the triplex. Well, they don't know what they're ordering and they don't know what they need. So that's kind of in your court. So if you're not really giving them a good reason and helping them feel that you know what you're doing, even if you're faking it, guys, you know it works. You know there's something powerful here, and you know it's bigger than you, and you may not be able to explain it, but it's changing lives, and that alone should drive you. Change lives, bless people, help them, help those people find the lighthouse that don't exist because they're miserable and struggling, and some of those people are sitting next to you laughing their heads off and going home and falling apart. And when my son said to me, Mom, I feel like you like me more when he saw me feel happy around him, that was a moment that was very sobering. And I thought, I have been damaging my kids' self-esteem. The tone in my home has changed, and it's what it's supposed to be now because I'm better. And now my husband uses it and he's better, my teenage girls. So do you see how powerful it is to actually help heal one person? And if you help them understand the power of sharing it, it's not about an MLM and it's not about sales. So my silvers mostly came through me taking away all the fears, taking away all the guesswork, and all the things that people were shooting down. And I'd say, oh, you know what? Here's the deal, okay? You don't have to touch the business. Don't even dip your toe. Guess what? You just think of 3 people, and I want you to either connect them with me, tell them you've got a friend that wants to talk to them about this stuff that's working amazingly for you, and I'll do it. I take it off their plate. We're all thinking we're too busy. Nobody dares get uncomfortable. And if they don't have a why, they're not going to, unless you give them a reason or help them catch the vision, which is a lot harder. So I either encourage strongly, not apologetically, or I take it away from them and say, guess what? You send me some people, I'll put them under you. You don't even have to get on your computer. I'll do it all. That created silvers. Because then people go, oh, so like I'll get paid and you'll do it? Yep. Weird, because I'm amazing. It's because I'm really giving. It's not because I want to rank. So it's really cool that that works. And I always say to people, I'm very open about this. It is a blessing for everybody that sees it that way, and it will help so many lives. But yes, it's benefiting me because my husband is going to retire in 2 years, and we're going to do this. My mother-in-law, my why is when I go Emerald, she's quitting her job. I'm going to hire her to be my assistant. She will quit her job. So that's pretty powerful. And giving her that and giving her that freedom and letting her be a grandma, it's kind of amazing. My mom died from Lou Gehrig's disease 9 years ago. I was her caretaker, and that sucked. That's where my depression started. And I'm totally going to shut up because I'm going way over. So I have a lot of pieces throughout my life that drive me to figure out why we're all so sick, how people are dying so fast. My dad at 45 years old with a massive heart attack because he had all kinds of things that were preventable. My mom to die of an autoimmune disease that was incurable. I've never seen someone with Lou Gehrig's heal. I don't know if it can be done, but I'm on a mission. And those things are so powerful that how could I not find purpose even if I'm feeling burned out? We all feel burned out. But if you reestablish that purpose, you reestablish that desire and that light that you get to turn on for people to find, you are that light for them and they don't know what exists, shine brighter because I promise they'll come to you. But if you are apologetic and you're ashamed and you're not standing with passion and intensity, I always have to check myself. Okay, Liz, chill out. But people always say, I can hear how much you believe in this. I can tell. And I really want to understand it. That right there helps people believe there's more to this than they understand. So stand with confidence. You're not selling lipstick. You are literally bringing people hope that don't know there is any. And they're more skeptical because they're afraid that it could be something. They just don't know. So you go out there and convince them. And those people that finally do enroll, remember to have them post what they hope for. They'll post much faster if they don't feel like they have to post results and sell it. And I always say, no, don't do anything. Just tag me. I'll just be aware. It's good. Hey, I got you. And the other thing, the last key thing, send them, you guys take out every single bit of work take it all resistance. Remove all resistance. Have 2 or 3 samples of what you can send them to send their friends, of what they can say to post. Here's a 3-liner. I'm so excited. Thanks, Liz. Here's my shout out. I love you. You're beautiful and you're super hot. Something like that. But then if they tag you, that's for me. If they tag you and they just say, thank you, I hope to see this, most people are okay with that, right? So just if you think outside the box and you actually want to succeed, I promise there are a lot of ways. And it sounds like you guys have a great support here and a great team. It's there. So if you're not doing something to grow, if you're not finding the growth, if you're not moving and agitating when you feel like you should be, then you need to check yourself, because there's something you're not doing. You're missing something, and I promise the leaders around you will help you see it if you ask them and you want to know. But if you don't see it, you can't fix it. I had a lot of growing up to do. I still do. Well, maybe a little bit, but I had a lot of growing, and I had to acknowledge that I had a lot of growth. And I may know a billion things about marketing. I may know everything about real estate and this. That is not the same thing. And I still don't know what I don't know. Be open and teachable, and you will grow. And be vulnerable, and you will grow. As soon as I shared that I was depressed, people were shocked, and I had the floodgates open. That was a whole other few months later. I wasn't tapped out. I was just getting vulnerable now, and they were coming at me. So I share that and end with, I did one test month last month, and I posted very little. It was kind of funny. I wasn't worried. My growth is good. My team's awesome. It was more to say, I tried that, and guess what? My numbers went down. I didn't post enough, and I'm talking like I did maybe every 3-4 days, and that was still posting regularly, but not enough. So post every day, but don't post all about Plexus. They will unfriend you and hate you. Be you. Those people are friends with you, not Plexus. Be you. Let them connect with you. Give them the window to your life. Everybody loves a reality show. And then post about Plexus and be real. And then post about your cute kids. Let them know you, and then they will trust you. It's the relationship of trust through Facebook. So those are probably my biggest tips, and I'm going to shut up. But Silver Stars is attainable by everybody on here. And if you've never been, you can go. It is so worth setting a goal for that, you guys. It changed my husband completely around from, I'll support you, but I hate it secretly, and I'm kind of mad at you, to, holy crap, you know what you're doing, and this is your thing. You run with this, babe. I got you. I'll do laundry. That changed everything. So he is my shareholder. My children are my shareholders. They all get incentives when I get an incentive. And I'll tell you what, they're a lot more supportive and less tattly when they know they're getting an incentive if they leave me alone for a minute. I still have to give them that.
Okay. So I got to cut you off, Liz, because
I'm going to cut me off.
My kids and my daughter and my granddaughter jumped in the car. I mean, they find you anywhere. So they're both in the car, and my daughter just heard you say that about incentives, and she's looking at me and she's like, hello, Mom, where's my incentive?
Everything. It works. I'm telling you, my 6-year-old will come in, Mom, when do we get the senior Ruby incentive again? Wow. Thanks for your support, Leah. Go do the dishes.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so Liz, I don't know if people are note taking. There's a lot to know. I mean, she says a lot, and I love people that have a lot to say, but they really have a lot to say. And I learned a ton more from you tonight. Like I said, you and Joanna, we all have such different styles. There's always so much to learn. That's what I love about God created us so different. You know, we all have so much to learn from each other. I have so much to learn. I want to share, I had a silver that when I was going for silver, well, not even going for Silver Stars, but she woke up and was silver and didn't know she went silver.
That's awesome.
Because I signed the person for her. Like I'm willing to do those same things, because I'm crazy enough to stay up all night. I'm crazy enough to stalk your Facebook for you.
Yeah,
I'm that invested. So I totally can relate to that.
Yep. Take away excuses. It works.
Yep. So I want to open it up quick. If anybody has any questions before We've gone 2 full hours.
Holy crap, we are really good. Sorry.
I love just your amazing enthusiasm and the way that you take it away from people. So what are things that you feel like has really helped you take ownership of that, you know, whether it be some of the posts? I know Lisa has been awesome about sharing posts with us, but what are some specific things that you feel like you have learned from your uplines that is working for you?
For either, or did you say for me? Sorry, I didn't catch who you were addressing. Okay, so yeah, there were a lot of things. I realized basically is I have this big when I'm not moving, and I just mean ranking and progressing, because I was enrolling again. There was something missing. I was struggling somewhere, and I started to realize it where I was winning stuff. I was getting every contact. I was winning the earrings on the purse. And I'm like, well, how am I still here? That's when I really clued into that. And this is the hardest part. I went and I said, all right, guys, give it to me straight. Brooke, tell me why I suck. Emily, tell me why. I said, I need you to be brutally honest. I'm a straightforward girl, but I have a big heart. So I don't like to hurt people. But it's like, if you're ready, I'm going to tell you. But I'll be nice about it. And I twist your knife. But it's so like, you've got to be open. And when I was open and ready to hear it, it was even harder because it was stuff I already had been told. And I realized how unteachable I was. So can I just put in there humility? Because we really don't know what we're doing. And I will say, like Lisa said this, there is something to learn from everybody. I said this to Lisa the other day. Man, we are a lot alike in some ways, but what you're going to teach me and what I'm going to teach you, they are so far and away different. We can't help but be a great pair, because anybody that's different from you is going to accentuate the things you don't do. So let those leaders tell you. Brooke Hemingway is a polar opposite of me too, but I value her because she's Brooke Hemingway and she succeeds. There's a reason. So be humble, be open, and ask the hard questions. And then I also, as soon as I recognized it, I started to listen to every freaking Diamond documentary and every training, watching Tara Castaneda, How to Go Gold, everything I could to really empower myself and how to be a better leader. What I realized was I wasn't ready to be a leader. And I wasn't ready because I wasn't stepping into that. That was me. It wasn't because God didn't tell me I could do it. That's none of that. That was really an excuse. The bottom line is, if I'm not progressing, there's something I need to do differently. And because this is a foolproof way, and we have all the help and support we need. So whether it's personal development or your methods, be teachable and change it and fix it and grow until you figure it out. And then you'll figure it out and you'll keep moving. It's just the way it is. It's the cycle.
Good advice, Liz.
But Sam?
Good advice, Liz.
It's because I did all the mistakes, remember? Yeah, I learned the hard stuff.
Oh, I'm sure you have a few more to make.
I have, we're going to stop there because, yeah, like a confessional right now. And I'm not even Catholic. They do those? Okay, close the door, guys. Yeah.
Okay, we've got 5 minutes. Anybody else have any comments? Any other questions?
I just want to say I was motivated. We're doing our team. We're going to do our first ever 3-day blitz. Woohoo!
Yes, blitz.
And,
that's it.
Yes, and I was so excited about that. And I was going to drop off local peoples and put it in their mailbox. But I've decided after we're talking tonight that no, I'm going to go up to their door. I'm going to see the person and let them know how hard this is for me. So I'm going to and not not throw up plexus on them. Just be like, I'm so excited for you, but I have to work through my mind how I'm actually going to approach it, what I'm going to say. But I'm been motivated to go give it to them in person. So
Crystal, you don't even know. I'm so proud of you guys. That's a big deal. Talk about personal development. This is 6 months ago. I couldn't have paid her to do that. You're awesome, Crystal. Yay! So really quick on the blitz.
Thank you, Crystal, for bringing that up. We are joining with Liz on this 3-day blitz. On Thursday it starts. So Did you get my message about maybe creating the link a little
Yes.
earlier?
So let me tell you the reason behind, well, it's not really a reason behind it. So our team is just kind of, we're like a check, 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 check. So it's like everything's a step or two ahead of the game. We just kind of know that people, hey, I'll add you to that as soon as it's up. We have a big announcement the day before and say it's up, or 2 days before. So it's just the way we do it, but I'm going to do it earlier because that is freaking some people out that they don't have anywhere to put them. So just make sure, this is what I would do, just right up front say, hey, we've got this group we're about to start. I'll add you in a couple of days. Here's what it is. Guys, the biggest piece on the blitz, I'm going to tell you because it is so important, it's how you know they're learning. They have to interact. They will not get something out of it. They won't learn anything, and they won't win anything if they don't interact. And if you get to the last day and you've got 2 people commenting, probably just going to be out of those 2. So they have to be encouraged strongly to interact to even qualify for anything. I've got a full-on format, and the only reason it's taking a little longer is because this is our first time ever doing it, and my upline doesn't even have a cheat sheet for this. So I'm creating the cheat sheet. It's a big freaking job. So I've been working on this for days, but then last night Christy and I kind of figured out how to do this and that. So what I want, though, is if any of you have a testimonial as leaders that you would like me to put in there, I'll use 1 or 2 from your team, and we can make sure, because your people need to see you in it. So we want that. So what we do is we customize those testimonials. I'm going to have mine in there. So they go, oh yeah, Liz, I know that story. Oh yeah, she's my leader. So we want to do that. It flavors it for them, and it establishes that leadership and that place. So that's a big piece of it. So we're super excited. It's going to be very easy to do, very simple. Your people interacting, and those of you who enter, and even if you've got one person who adds one person who's not silver or anything, make sure they know that they need to be in there supporting their person, even if it's their sister, because that's what this is. That's the whole part, the whole thing is just being there together, and it creates an energy that's pretty amazing. So
so are these live or written testimonies or video?
They're from what I have in. So don't hold me to this, because I looked through it and I tried to memorize as much as I could. A lot of testimonials, a lot of product info. There is, I want to say there's for sure 1 live that I will do. And then there might be 1 or 2 others. It just kind of depends on the outline of it. I'm going to tweak. I'm the rebel. I can't do it exactly like anybody tells me to. I have to fake it somehow. So we'll figure it out. If you have a suggestion.
So as we're down to 1 minute, so I don't want this to cut you off. I want to say thank you so much, Liz and Joanna, for coming on. Yeah, 1 minute. I don't know what's up with these Zooms. So anyway, any information that Liz passes to me, I will make sure that our team has. So, more will be revealed.
Come find me and friend me, guys. I want to know you all better.
Please, awesome. I will drop your picture in here. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Wonderful. I appreciate it. I wish we could do longer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, Joanna. Oh, Joanna left already. Okay.
Hey,
Bye,
Lisa,
guys.
Lisa, can you hear me?